Hi friends, have you ever had the frustration that at the beginning of a week, you have planned everything out, path through your freedom, path through your achievement, path through your goals. But then, as the days goes by during the week, things become chaotic. There are emergencies from your work, from your personal life. There are also distractions internally and externally. And by the end of the week, when you look back, you found out that you actually did nothing in your plans. I had similar situation before. So I asked myself, why didn't I do what I said I'll do? Why didn't I do what really matters? If you had similar situation before, this video is for you. I like to think that I have at least two selves. One is a high-level self who is a commander, a strategist. They lay out big picture plans in abstraction. The other is a lower everyday self, who is an executor, an operator. It makes decisions in real time. It decides whether I scroll the phone or go to bed. It decides whether I binge or do things in moderation. Most of the frustration comes from these two selves, not aligned with each other, and they don't communicate with each other. The communication between my high-level self and lower-level self really reminds me of how human trains a dog. The dog doesn't understand your sophisticated logic. It doesn't really care about your goals. You don't give it a long, persuasive explanation. What you do is that you give it a cue, a drill, and a treat. Dogs don't learn through theory. They learn through rhythm. And our everyday self works the same way. Like when I play tennis, I know how to swing, but at the moment, under pressure, my body reverts to the old habits. The point is, it's not about what we know, it's about what's being rehearsed and what's being rewarded. Here's another way to look at it. Your higher level self speaks in a high level language like Python. It is abstract, expressive, and big picture. But your lower level self, your everyday self, only understands low-level language such as assembly language and even only binary code. It favors simplicity, efficiency, and being concrete. To connect the two, you need a translation layer of cues, rewards, and repetitions that converts abstraction into concrete plans. Until the compiler finishes job, the lower layer cannot run the high-level scripts, and nothing happens until then. In the book Principles, Ray Dalio encouraged people to think of themselves as machines. To do so, picture yourself as a server in a data center. Nobody praises a machine for working extra hours or grinding through pain. We just expect the machine to be stable, robust, and predictable. So what does it mean to us? Let's break it down. A machine needs power and the human needs sleep and food. If we skip either food or sleep, it's just like a low voltage chip. Our thinking slows, our emotions spike, and the decision gets sloppy. A machine needs cooling, and a human needs rest and play. Fans kick in when servers heat up. For us, that's a walk, a weekend off, a coffee with friends. If you don't cool off, your system throttles. A machine measures its efficiency and capacity by throughput, and human by workload. The queue length is what matters here. Too many concurrent jobs block throughput and increases latency. What this means to us is that stacking tasks doesn't mean more output. It just increases mental latency. A machine uses sensors to get feedbacks from the world and to get information. And we humans have feedback loops too. So servers have logs. Servers track logs when they're wrong. And we human, we write journals, we have mood check-ins, we have health trackers like Apple Watch or Oura Ring. Those are all our debugging logs. And here's the key. None of this is about morality or discipline. It's just natural law, it's physics. Respect the system. If you run smoothly and ignore it, the kernel panics. Using myself as an example, in 2024, I didn't really respect my lower self, the machine's limit. I got burnout. I was running on low energy. Looking back, some projects that drags on for months, I could have done it in a week if I maintained my machine well. So, what's the real lesson? The lesson is respect your limits, care for your machine, and train your lower self not to suffer more, but to recover faster and perform better. So, how do we get the high level self, the planner in your head, to actually communicate with the everyday you, the one who makes decisions in real time? It is just like bridging Python to assembly language. There are a series of layers in between. Also, it is like training a dog. You don't just say sit and expect obedience. You create a system of cues, habits, and reinforcements. Let's break it down using a simple goal. Going to bed at 10 p.m. Hard enough, go, huh? Layer 1 is intent. This is where it gets started. The higher level you says, I want to go to bed by 10 p.m. In Python, this is like defining a function. In dog training, layer 2 is trigger. Next, you need a signal to start the routine. In the code, it's a main function call. In dog training, it's a clicker or a whistle. For you, maybe it's your Apple Watch vibrates at 9:30 p.m. That's your trigger to wind down. Layer 3 is compiler. This is where intent becomes repeatable action. In software, it's bytecode generation. In dog training, it's a daily drill. For you, it's repeating the same wind down sequence every night. Shut down laptop, change to PJs, dim the lights. You are telling your system, we are executing this again. Layer 4 is link and environment. Execution relies on context. In software, it means resolving memory addresses. In dog training, it's placing the mat. For humans, it might be hiding your phone in the kitchen or have your bedroom lights auto dim. The environment quietly nudges you into the right direction. Layer 5 is execution. This is where behavior becomes automatic. In computers, it's CPU executes opcodes. In dogs, it's muscle memory. They just do it. And for you, it is brushing your teeth and getting in bed without that inner debate. The body just moves. And layer 6 is feedback and reward. So finally, the loop closes. Servers log performance and dogs get a treat or praise. And for us humans, maybe it's a warm blanket or a lo-fi playlist. These small comforts reinforce the routine and helps to make it stick. So there's a loop from abstract goals to embodied action, from strategist to a soldier. This is how you train the machine, not by forcing it, but by translating each layer into something your everyday self understands. The takeaway is that it's less about pushing hard and more about building a clean interface. High-level sense specs and everyday self runs code. When the compiler, cues, routine, and rewards does its job, the whole rig just runs. Treat it like a lens, not a law. If it helps you debug your own stack, awesome. If not, swap in another analogy. And thank you for watching. See you next time.